Hey, happy day. Welcome to Second Lap. I'm still getting better at doing the intro part. We did talk yesterday. Mile marker update just for those that are tracking. It was like 5 miles more tomorrow or yesterday. So 37,060 miles. And we are luckily, graciously being guest attended by, I don't even know why I can't speak English. I'm super excited.
English is
Ryan is
great.
here.
Hello. I'm so
Welcome.
grateful to be here. Thank you so much. I'm tickled.
It's exciting to have you. It's been a while, and I had all these things that I was sort of, hey, we should try to catch up on this and whatever. And I'm like, man, you're planning too much. You should just have a conversation and be relaxed. So, how are you doing today?
Good man. I'm doing well. I feel like I've been not dodging stuff at all. I've definitely been kind of prioritizing a few things in life, and I think things are starting to settle a little bit more. And um yeah, it's kind of where I'm at. So I think on the
Good.
back end of a few things.
I saw you were doing an afternoon like drive, sort of afternoon drive. I don't know if I'm calling it the right thing. You're doing a little afternoon show. How's that been going?
Good. It's only been twice so far. But yeah, so there's the My Daily Dad's morning show where we kind of talk through a few things, all about um, parenting, dad
Right.
life. We look at Ryan Holiday's book, and it was great. It's a good pull up on things kind of before getting started for the day, and then life just got busier. My wife took on a great job, and I needed to kind of like step in into a larger role in the morning, and it
Right.
was great, but it was a lot. So then I think I was struggling to kind of get in the morning to kind of still be a part of things, and it became so challenging at some point that I was like, you know what? I either have to like step away more or kind of figure out how to work this in more organically. And so I was like, okay, let's think. Is the afternoon something I could do? And it worked out for at least for 2 days right now. But it's
Okay.
feels
That's a
good.
streak.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was able to listen to a part of the first one. Afternoons sometimes for me get to be absolute chaos, and so I saw a little bit of the yesterday's reporting afterwards. But I hope it continues for you, and that you get out of it. You know what you want to get out of it, and that others, I think, gravitate to you, especially the people that know you, and probably look forward to seeing you in the afternoon. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I hope it'll be good. I hope it's just, it's a good reset. I think you can kind of have all these great plans for the day, and then they kind of maybe fizzle out, or they just become something that you kind of even forget about, and you can't implement them later in the day when things get, just like you said, the afternoon gets crazy. So hey, quick reminder, quick reset, and then
Yeah.
follow through on what your values are and what you want to accomplish.
Are you thinking it's going to continue to be sort of a solo talk to the audience sort of thing? Are you going to try and have a co-host?
I think how I've said it's, right now, I think it's loose enough, kind of just like a little tag team from the morning, kind of a continuation of what Dom and Jason are talking about in the morning about parenting, whatever else.
Right.
Um, and so no, it's definitely open. Like anybody that wants to kind of hop in, hop on. Um, but yeah, I would say plans are just loose right now.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Well, it's exciting. Hi. Um, I actually wanted to secretly ask you. Since we've last communicated, I have implemented it's like an evening cocktail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it started as um, I got on the whole protein bandwagon. So I started on the whole try to get more protein in, and so my wife read research, and I started taking the Jocko protein sort of drink in the evening before bed because it was
Okay.
cookies and cream, and I gave up sugar. And it was like, if I drink this, it's like, it's almost like a cheat code. Like I'm getting the protein and I'm having something that tastes like cookies and cream. It's good for me, and I'm not having sugar. So anyways, that morphed into, I listened to a guy, and it was like the fourth time that I'd gotten this message of we need fiber. Like, even if we think
Mm,
we get enough fiber, it's like we're not. Like, and I don't know why the message is there. In my mind, I think of somebody taking Metamucil or whatever, and it's like, man, I don't
ah,
want to be that kind of guy. But
sure.
I started to take this one. I can't even remember the name of it. Ryan, I was trying to memorize it so I could tell you, but it's this long name, and it's a little scoop, but it's a fiber supplement. And so I put that into my protein shake.
Psyllium fiber?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
put that in. I guess it's a jelly, whatever. I was trying to think of the way my doctor told me. Anyway, so put that in, and then I have been putting kefir in
Yeah.
that, and so then I'm blending it all up, and then I'm drinking it down like it's a milkshake.
I think it's great. I'm not as familiar with what Jocko has put out with his protein shake. I'm assuming, we're hitting somewhere around a little bit higher protein, like 30 grams or so. Is there no fiber in it already?
I don't think there's not to the level that I'm injecting this other process it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like, look, protein and fiber is just foundational. And I would say, even despite your calorie intake, your protein and fiber really should be remaining pretty constant. So, getting your protein up that way, supplementally, I think is great. And in the evening, and if that's where you can definitely sneak it in, that's awesome. Most importantly, is just like whatever you decide to eat in, like whatever window, you just need to get enough protein. That's most important. Timing is less important. So yeah, in the evening, if it good, it kind of hits in the sweet tooth because it has a little bit of a
Yes.
tasty, sweeter kick. I think it's awesome. And then, yeah, fiber, like the average American's getting 15 grams of fiber. And women need, like, the low end, really, like 25 grams, and men need like closer to 35. So most Americans are already getting less. And if you are eating any vegetable or fruit or any kind of like grain, potatoes, beans as well, like, you're getting fiber. And we really should be eating enough of it. And the biggest benefit is the fact that it does slow down digestion. It will help really kind of remove, if anything, like pull out things like cholesterol, HDL, triglycerides. I mean,
Okay.
LDL triglycerides. And it's definitely associated, especially with men. It's associated with a lower incidence of bowel cancer. And like, who doesn't want those things? There's a reason not to get those. So getting enough is going to be important. And then
Right.
when you start looking at like the specific kinds of food, all those foods that have fiber both have soluble and insoluble. And soluble is like, think of like strands of yarn, right? So if you think of fiber, like, they're little strands
Okay.
of fiber, right? So just
Yep.
think of it like that. Some of those strands are going to be like yarn, and some are going to be like metal. And the strands that are like yarn, those absorb water when they get into your stomach and acid, and they plump up and they turn into a gel. And so
Okay.
your psyllium fiber is basically all psyllium fiber. I'm sorry, is all gel. It's all that yarn fiber. So it's going to be
Okay.
something that you're going to find it's going to, take up a lot more space. You can definitely feel like more full that way. It can
Right.
keep you more regular. If you take too much of it, it can actually kind of like back you up a little bit.
Okay.
Now the metal fiber, this is kind of this is the insoluble. Just kind of stays like it is. It just adds weight to your stool and helps you have a bowel movement. So it's more on the side of like, if like, for an acute effect, if you need to relieve constipation, just have that
Okay.
bowel movement. So that
Right.
can definitely help. And when you look at some of these fibers too, they actually feed the gut. So any of those like good gut bugs that you got from your kefir or anything else,
Right.
the fiber is actually the thing that's kind of feeding them. And so that's why fiber is called a prebiotic versus your probiotic.
Okay.
Yeah. So your doctor, if that's who told you to take the psyllium fiber, they told you to take like a mega dose of of that
I'm
gel.
my own doctor now. I did it
There you go.
myself. I
There you go.
listened. I'm as we were talking about yesterday. We're like petri dishes. We keep trying these things to make sure that we can be surfing when we're 80. That's sort of the goal, right?
Oh yeah,
Don't want
definitely.
to turn it down. Okay, so that's all been good. Anything? Oh, there was another thing that I was going to ask you about. So we started we started working out. We're 4 sessions into 8 days.
Yeah,
Uh,
beautiful.
I'm doing things like, we did as one of the sets, squats with dumbbells.
Hmm.
And as a man, I'm there with my wife. I mean, immediately I'm holding 20s in each hand. And so I do my first set of 10, and I'm like looking in the mirror because it's like the Jane Fonda mirrors, in the gym, so you can see what's going on.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm showing my age. Probably somebody should, Kathy Ireland, somebody better than Jane
I'm
Fonda. But
here with you. I feel like Kathy
anyways,
Island's still showing your age a little bit. That's okay.
I went from worse to bad. Um, anyways, I'm trying to think of what was the point I was trying to make. Did you?
You were working out. You're doing the squats, I
Yeah, yeah,
think,
yeah.
right? The dumbbells.
Yeah, I was doing them with dumbbells, and I could tell I don't want to say I overdid it, but I could tell it was like, dude, you haven't done this in years. What are you doing?
Mm.
So I
Hmm.
set the dumbbells down, and the next 2 sets, I just did squats, like just
Sure. Body squats.
make work on, yeah, just body squats, just work on the leg. Like I'm still doing the dumbbell motion, but I'm just not holding them in my hands, just
Yeah.
to do form and make sure I'm in the right alignment and I can do them all and I'm not hurting myself.
Hmm.
I guess where I was going with what I was going to ask you is, since BPC 157 and these peptides that people have been taking for quick recovery are gone as at the moment, what can I do to not feel like at my age, 53, that I didn't get beat up by a bag of oranges the day before, still noon the next day. Like I'm needing fully the whole off day until the next day. I'm not proud.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, overtraining based on where you're at, like it's all relative is the thing. First of all, it sounds like you got to stay away from oranges. Um, but in all seriousness, it's, you do want to listen to your body. I mean, soreness is not a bad thing. Inflammation is not a bad thing because it is something that's going to help your body actually become more resilient. And then once you get over it, it's good. But what I'm always going to tell someone is, usually if something like your soreness is beginning to hinder your ability to get back into the gym, and it's aggregating, it's building, then that could mean that you could be under eating, you could be overtraining, you could be doing both of those things.
Okay.
And so it is something to kind of just be aware of, that you just could be doing more than you need. And then you just want to look at the actual workout itself and just make sure that you either do less volume or less intensity. You did that, right? You drop the
Yes.
dumbbells, you just start doing the body weight squats. So
Yes.
all those are really good. So what can you do? Well, one, you just want to make sure that you are checking in on your overall calorie intake. And so a lot of people this time of year, what they're going to do is they're going to tank their calories and they're going to increase their activity. And so despite protein intake, anything else, if your overall calories are not going to be appropriate, and you can do this really quickly too, if you follow calories or not. But quick, like back of the napkin math. I like using my
Right.
big calculators and stuff, but like if you are eating somewhere right now, like below like 10 calories per pound, and you're feeling really sore, you could be approaching the area that you could be under fueling right now. So that's one thing to think about. And then you can look at that and say, okay, look, if you're eating, less than if
That's
you're eating too,
1900. That's 1900 total calories a day if I'm 190 pounds.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And again,
Okay.
but that is also like a little bit of a threshold for many people. At that 10 calories per pound, that's where things can start to become aggressive. Again,
Okay.
everyone's different, but usually if we start hitting like 9 calories per pound, 8 calories per pound. We're getting very aggressive in a calorie deficit. So that could easily be what we have to be aware of for some people, where just to kind of make sure that we know where those other numbers are. Like if the closer you move to like 12 and a half calories per pound, again, this is quick math. It's not
Right.
a perfect science on this. That's where more sustainable, slower kind of weight loss is going to be. Remember that you are compromising your muscle mass if you're just underfeeding yourself regardless. Now, the next thing would be something just like your protein intake. And so your protein intake, that there's this inverse relationship with calories and protein, that the lower your calories go, you should get higher in your protein need. And
Okay.
that's where we have to make sure that we're getting in. And again, this is stuff that I think that we talk about all the time, but really checking in on it and knowing like that 0.7 to 1 grams of protein per pound is important to know. If you are just getting back into strength training and your calories are lower, you're being really aware of that. You want to be closer to that like 1 calorie per pound. So those two things, before you start looking at any peptide, you got to really make sure that you are thinking about that first and foremost.
So
Um,
I'm under eating if I'm doing the back of the napkin with you right now. So have an extra chicken breast or something like that to give extra energy for the workout that I'm putting in. I mean, something like
yeah, and I would say like 1900 calories is not like wildly different than many people.
okay,
Some people could be eating less than that, but I could argue this is that if you need 1900 and you're only eating twice in a day, starting to get a little bit questionable, kind of like if you can get enough calories in those two meals or not. Right. So that's kind
right.
of why like a quick check on some people is like just frequency and volume. How many meals are you eating a day? Right. If someone says they're only eating two, I'm like, okay, we just got to be a little bit more strategic about what we do in those two meals. If someone says one because they're fasting or they're just not hungry because maybe they started GLP-1 or something,
Right.
then it's like a one meal, like 1900 calories, and let's just say that you have to get close to 160 190 grams of protein. That's hard to do. You can't get
Yeah.
160 grams of protein in a meal consistently, and if
No.
anything, that's just like a lot of chewing. It's just more than you want to do. So that's kind of where I think that you want to start there, and then the peptides can come in, but the one there's many parts of this discussion, because I think one is important is that a lot of people who start lowering their calories and they want to start working and affecting their hormones with any kind of peptide whatsoever. uh, I think one thing I see a lot, and I think this is a slippery slope because some people are like eating high fat, some low fat, but if someone is kind of bringing their calories really low, a lot of men in particular are eating really low fat, and fat is
Needed.
what really helps develop hormones. And so the
Right.
hormones that you want your peptide to be working on, right? If you want growth hormone, you want your testosterone, like you definitely need enough fat. And so like when we start looking at oh my gosh.
Is that like avocado fat? Talk to me about fat. Where am
Oh,
I going to
great
be getting
question.
fat?
Yeah, so like a lot of your proteins. So there's leaner proteins and fattier proteins, right? So
All right.
ribeye versus
I eat ribeyes, so I'm getting fat there. But
sirloin.
I
There you
think
go.
I've got to be getting more than just that, though, right?
So like one, your proteins, but then yeah, you're gonna get things just like your nuts and your seeds. You're gonna get your avocado, your coconut oils, your olive oils, and stuff like that
Okay.
too. And so some of these, there's a conversation with our saturated, unsaturated, mono unsaturated, like, and so, but it's if you want to understand where you're at with your fat right now, you do want to make sure that you're getting I'm going to give a rounder number. I'm going to say like zero point 0.4 grams per pound. And if you have some weight to lose, you can go with like a goal weight around that.
Okay.
But it's good just to double check and see how much fat you're getting. Many people were already eating a lot of fat, so like don't worry about it. But if you are a guy who's like already pretty lean, you eat lean, you're like maybe there's a fear of fat, like double check and just see how much you're actually getting. So a lot of guys just have to kind of look into that a little bit too. But can I mention one more thing that's kind of like the dark horse? That's like something that really I say dark horse in like a negative way,
Okay.
not like a winning way. But I know people talk about this, but people don't really, I think, know the gravity of it. I've had many clients, very active, some not as active, but the ones that are not getting enough sleep, and I'll say 6 hours is a good threshold number. If you are averaging less than 6 hours of sleep a night, many things can be perfect. You can be training really well, you could be eating the perfect macros and calories, you're going to compromise your muscle mass. And that's the thing, like we start to see declining muscle mass when sleep is really an issue. Then stress is involved, and then all this stuff. Because when we sleep, when we get into these deeper phases, these deeper areas of sleep, this is where we start to release things like our testosterone, our growth hormone, and it really helps our body make sure that we use our nutrition and our training to develop the hormones that we need. So
Right.
that is the thing where even if things are perfect, even I can't say even if you're taking peptides, because it is pretty amazing what these peptides can do if you do take them. But sleep is really that thing. It's like if people are hitting a wall, they're like, I don't know what's going on. I think everything's good. Sleep is one of those.
And the quality of the sleep is probably is just as good. And because I've been thinking through this. For me, if I'm the test subject in this conversation, I've
Yeah.
been going to bed at 9 and waking up, to when I want to, for a couple years now. Like we don't really use the alarm. I have, and I talked about this yesterday. I have recently been diagnosed with AFib,
Got it. Yeah.
which which has been causing, in the most of the irritation was happening at night. So I'm assuming if your heart's doing 160 beats per minute and you're asleep, you're not getting restful sleep at that point. Like your body is working out pretty good. My
Sound like that's like mid sex, buddy. What's going on while you're sleeping? I don't know what's going on with that. It's crazy.
I didn't even ask her. Yeah, maybe never mind. Never mind. This is the streaming show. Um no, but it's been, well, we talked about it yesterday. My dad had it 20 years ago and I like clockwork got it 20 years later. And we'll see. I'm day 2 into the medication. I'm supposed to take my blood pressure every day, a couple times a day, just to check, because that's one of the low or the side effects of the medication that I'm taking. And
Yeah.
um, so we'll see. Like you said, it's interesting. We'll see if it helps me to get better sleep. I guess that's where I was going.
If the medication will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be curious. I want to know. I want to know if it's definitely there. I think whenever you start talking about blood pressure, and especially men's health, I mean, this is really, it's both men and women, but the power of potassium. The power of potassium is pretty amazing. Potassium is really what can negate a lot of the challenges of what, say, sodium or some stress can actually do as well. Now, with AFib, you're not just looking at blood pressure. Like that's not the only thing that's going on in your life here.
Right.
But I think when we want to make sure that we are doing right by our blood pressure, we want to look at the arterial walls. We want to make sure that we are making sure that if we have excess sodium, right? Sodium's not bad. We need sodium, salt. Don't be afraid of it, especially if you're active. But if you do have high blood pressure, it's recommended that you kind of have a lower sodium diet. And,
Right.
I'll throw a number out there, but somewhere closer to like 2,600 milligrams in a day is really something we have to be aware of. And that is pretty low. In a lot of cases, you're just not adding salt to food. You're really watching if you're having anything canned, boxed, bagged, frozen, that kind of
Right.
stuff. Cheeses and baked goods are really the biggest culprits in terms of added sodium in food. But anyway, potassium, what it does is potassium basically can help. It goes in and it kind of like knocks on your kidney and says, hey, I noticed we got a lot of pressure in here because we got some sodium. The water's starting to build up, and it's really creating
Right.
this environment where it's kind of hard on me right now. And so potassium basically says, "Hey, we got to open up. We got to make sure you pee some of this out." And so potassium helps release that.
Okay.
And so when we get enough potassium, being in a lot of our fruits and vegetables, get enough fiber from our foods, we're going to get a lot of that potassium too. Beans, avocado, potato, bananas are usually kind of known as that. But check in and just see how much fiber you're getting in from your real foods, and you can really navigate that potassium side. And the last thing I'll say about it is, if no one knows the power of beets, beets are really high in potassium, but they also have beetroot juice. They have beetroot powders that you can definitely get, and just that's something you can drink. People put it in the non-stimulant pre-workouts, because what it does
Okay.
is it dilates your blood vessels, and it allows blood to flow through a little bit more freely. Oxygen's delivered to your body better. So beetroot juice, a great company is Human, HUMANN. They have Beet Elite. They have Super Beats is the other one. But that's just an easy thing to throw into a shaker
Is
bottle.
it as good as having the real thing? Like I actually grew up eating them as a kid, so I mean I like beets. Are the powders and the supplements better because it's giving you the equivalent of eating 7 of them instead of 1? I mean, what's
Yeah, I'm gonna say, to get the the ergogenic, the sports benefit, the performance benefit from them, um, you get it in a more concentrated form. So
okay?
this is basically it. You'd need to juice at least 16 ounces of beet juice. That's a lot of beets. That's a lot of
Beets, a lot of
mess,
beets. Yeah.
right? If anything. And so you'd have to drink that. And I'm pretty sure it's twice a day that you'd have to do that. And that's just not, it's not practical. So yeah, getting it in that concentrated dose and that more therapeutic dose is definitely helpful. I think they also come in, they have like chews now. So you can get those, and they're kind of like not a gummy. They like, but I
They're
don't know.
chews.
They're like chews. Yeah.
I've been advertised the beet stuff, and so it's just there's a lot of irony in this conversation because it's been one of those things that I've thought about. I still do a what do you call it? I have an allowance for myself for monthly stuff to try something new,
Yeah.
and I'm currently on um the peptide, not peptides. I'm gonna forget now. It's how we create proteins. One of the doctors is pushing them.
Well, amino acids
Anyways,
comes to mind when you
amino
say
acids.
it,
Yes,
but
thank you.
okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes. The something perfect aminos.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah.
I'm doing a 90-day perfect aminos deal, and so that was my last month's project. But I ended up getting more than I thought. So I'll try the beats out. I'll see. I'll try the products because they're like I said, they've been advertising them to me quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Try it out. Bring it in. See if it definitely helps. It most likely will. You can feel a difference, especially in, like, if you're out walking. Like, you will, like, it's definitely good. And again, a lot of that, it's if you've ever had like a non-stimulant, a caffeine-free kind of pre-workout, someone doesn't want to have, like, maybe they work out late in the evening or whatever.
Right.
A big component of that is going to be like a beet powder, because it's those nitrates. It's the nitrates in them that ends up helping. So
Fantastic.
yeah. So yeah.
I'll get it. I'll try it out. I really
Yeah. Of
appreciate you doing this, especially on
course.
short notice.
No, it's
And
all good.
it's been a good conversation. I'm envious. I can't feel like hat. You're sitting on the stairs. I have like this Beastie Boy vibe going on right now.
It is.
Like,
It's like it definitely is just Brooklyn brownstones up and down this whole spot. So
yeah, it's awesome. Um, we'll have to do this again soon because I feel like I could talk to you for hours. Anything from our past conversations that hey, I want to catch you up on this, or anything that we had been talking about. I've been trying to think if that's why I was talking about the fiber because that's sort of my one of my things I've done. I was just thinking it's been a while. Anything that I didn't talk to you about that you were
I mean, there's definitely always more. I think the conversations I'm having a lot right now. So I guess professionally, personally too. Um, Habit formation, please. People need to understand that just because you continue to do something every single day, whether you hate it, you love it, that's not what's going to drive your habit formation. You need to change your identity. You have to attach some sort of emotion, positive emotion to what you want to get done. But if you're setting a goal of body fat loss, you want to be more successful in your business, whatever it is, it will take an identity shift for most people. And that is a lifestyle shift. And so I think, there's a lot of people that I find that want a certain outcome that are not understanding that their lifestyle needs to change as much as it does. And that's not a bad thing. It's okay. It's just an okay thing. But do the hard work to work on your identity, get some help in terms of who's going to be around you, all that kind of stuff. So
Right.
I think that's like the bigger stuff there. So yeah, it's give yourself some grace and understand it and take your time with it. So yeah.
All good advice.
Yeah.
And I identify as a walker. I'm trying to I'm trying to understand, and I have been doing a little bit less walking on days that we go to the gym, just,
Mhm.
so I'm not overdoing it. I've had, my Fitbit has said, "Hey, you might want to take it easy today," a couple of times. And so I'm trying
Yeah.
to like, hey, there might be some truth here. Um, but yeah, I'm really, I guess I can't talk about it enough. I'm really enjoying being in there. Quick little anecdote or story I'll tell. Our neighbor, she's 88. She lost her
Nice.
husband a year ago, and she was a Mary Kay. I think she stopped doing that finally. But she goes to the gym all the time. And we ran into her at the gym, and she's like, "It's so great to see you in here together," and blah blah. And she's talking, and she's like, "All my people are either dead or hooked up to a machine
Mm.
or are unable to move, or they're in a house or a living, not assisted living but full living." She's like, "I'm the only one that's still doing it, but I'm also the only one that's at the gym." So I'm just saying it out loud, that we need movement, and the sedentary lifestyle, whoever tried to turn that into a cool thing, they were a jackass. So
Your- if your life's sedentary, you're a jackass. Come on, get up, get moving. No, it's good. I find another reason to be moving, right? Find a reason with people around you, get somewhere. I know what always gets me up in the morning is more mental health. I know I get up, I squeeze muscle. And so you got to squeeze muscle. When you squeeze muscle, you help the cytokines come out. Cytokines are the things that we know as hope molecules. A little bit of shaky research on calling it exactly that, but it makes you feel good, right? So it's something
yeah.
where do it. Don't discount just the idea of you moving it, and find an identity within it, right? If you're gonna walk because like what you always said. I love what you always said. I walking is my education, right? Or my time for education. Or you listen to your books, you listen to your podcasts and stuff like that too. Like find another reason why you're doing it. Not just for calorie burning, or not just because of the aesthetic outcome for some people. So
Right.
that's a lifestyle shift for many people.
I agree.
Yeah.
Have a lifestyle shift, and if you want one and you don't know how to do it, there's some of us out there that are willing to talk you through it, because I don't think it's rocket science. Do you? I mean, I don't think it's work.
No, I think that many people kind of hope that a lot of things in life, and I think this sounds so like so prophetic, but I think it's I I think many people want to set it and forget it. Many people just think that you just change it and it stays the way it is. I think many people, like, I always hang on to this one statement. I always say that we don't learn things once. Like, you need to learn it. You need to hear it again, hear a different way. You need to write it down. You need to type it out. You need to say it out loud. You need someone to say it to you. Like, there's so many different ways that we have to learn something. You'll pick up something new every single time. Rereading a book,
Yep.
rewatching a movie, right? You pick up on new things, and that's how we can solidify them. So you can't set it and forget it. Things are going to change. Dynamics are going to move around, right? And they should. And
Yeah.
life changes. There are phases of life. It's it's going to happen. So you're going to
Right.
need to adjust in some way. So yeah, just be ready for that.
In my professional career, we call it the ability to pivot. Right?
Yeah.
You're doing something, you put together the best PowerPoint that you've ever seen. Like you could send it to God Almighty and he would be like, that is the best PowerPoint I've ever seen. And you get into it and you're 3 slides in, and the guy that's gonna give you the $1 million looks across the table and he says, what about this? And it's like, I can either force you to listen to slide 4, 5, 6, 8, and I'm gonna talk to you about that at slide 12, or I can pivot and I can talk to you about what you care about, and I can do that now. So, anyways, I agree. We need as humans to get out of that sedentary, know about did you say squeezing muscles? Or would you say
I say squeeze muscle just
squeeze
because,
muscle?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that. I'm making sure nobody's walking around me because it might sound weird to say that out loud as I'm in this park. But
I always try not to defend it. I'm always like, I know it could sound like to someone, but no, the muscle, yeah, you just gotta squeeze that muscle.
I agree. My favorite thing sometimes is while I'm waiting for the coffee, because I do the pour over, I do 50 jumping jacks in the kitchen. Like while I'm waiting for the water to boil up. Like it's just, it gets me to the mood, I can't have my phone in my hand. Like
Hmm.
if I'm swinging it. So,
Hmm.
anyways, I'm going to let you give it back to your day. I love you. I appreciate you being here. Let's do this again soon.
Yeah, for sure. Love you too, dude. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay. See ya. Bye.
Yeah, bye.